Go.
Hi, my name is Lilly Brown, and I am almost 77 years old. And I am so grateful that I found Dr. Akiba. He popped up on my computer one night when I was doing some research. And of course, when I saw that, I said, that's the person that I want to go to see. Because for years, I have been suffering with a lot of ailments. But earlier in this year, I had been diagnosed for the first time as having autoimmune disease. My doctor's words to me were, it is incurable, and the only thing that we can do for you is to treat the symptoms. So that meant that they would give me something to stop the arthritis pill. The pills for to stop the arthritis or whatever other types of treatments that they had, which incidentally, I think I already over a period of years tried them all, including the cortisone shots, including the synovial fluid with the needles, which I hated, and different other exercises, and even I've had a lot of pain while working on my job, and they would send me to therapy, and that would just work it out and make me limber for a little while. But then, well, since I have retired for the past, I guess I've not been working since '98, and kind of settling into what one might call retirement and old age. Things didn't really get better, but they got worse. And a lot of my problems was not just the pain with the knees, which of course is what they told me seemed to be the only thing wrong with me was arthritis. And otherwise I was healthy. But healthy is not when you are short of breath, when you're having pains in your chest when you eat, when your stomach grumbles and gives you a lot of problems when you're eating certain foods, when you get to the point where when you used to be a terrific public speaker, you turn around and find out that now you really have to stutter and you have to fumble to find words to say, that all of the wonderful works of poetry that you used to recite no longer seem to come out just right when you're trying to recall them. And the love that you had for reading books sort of gets to the point where you can't get through a whole page without just putting down the book and giving up on it. So when Dr. Green's ad just addressed all of those things that I had been experiencing, I said, that's the place to go. Well, I finally made an appointment, and it's only been approximately two months maybe that I talked to him. It was a bit slow over the summer months to get really all lined up, get my tests all done, get me back on track. Oh, by the way, which incidentally, I was attempting to complete a degree at school. I had 3 more subjects to go. At the beginning of the year, I had signed up for 2 of those 3. I had hoped to finish up this fall and graduate in the spring. But I just felt so terrible and so drained and so dull in my brain and so lacking in my ability to concentrate until I did drop those subjects. And this fall, I readily signed up to jump back into it, but I still didn't feel up to it. After getting to school and finding that I really could not keep up my 3.7 average, I just resigned my courses and just was so happy that I found somebody, that I found finally they were going to help me. And sure enough, I'm really, really pleased with this short time that I'm having progress now, because I can say that without taking a single pill, without hitting the bottom, or doing something else, really crazy, I have now gotten so relieved from having constant pain in my joints. What I'm really happy about also is that I can get up in the morning. And when I get up in the morning, before I get up, I can literally move my legs and don't feel pain before I get up, which is wonderful. Once I get up, the pressure on my knees sort of presents a little bit of problem, which is very quickly resolved within 1 or 2 steps. That's really wonderful, because I can remember being bent over, can hardly put one foot in front of the other, shuffling my feet, and now I'm getting out of bed, literally, happily picking my feet up and making steps. They're not good steps, but they are steps, and my foot is not dragging on the floor. You just don't know how good that makes you feel until you've drug your feet for the past 10 years, which is what I've been doing. Okay, so that's just a little bit of what he has done for me up to this point. And I must say that I could go on and on, because one thing that happened to me this morning, which I think that would be very interesting to somebody else who have had this brain fog that I had gotten into, that had really, and I thought that I wasn't thinking as up to snuff when I finished working, but oh my Lord, it just got so progressively worse until, as I said, these past 2 semesters, I just thought I would try, but just could not do it. So, okay, here's what happened. I had some letters that I wanted to get out, some packets of information I wanted to send to some people. I wrote a letter to a friend, and I was so amazed that when I sat down and I began to write, immediately everything I wanted to say just flowed. And not just flowed in my head like it usually do from time to time, even with interruptions too. It flowed with the writing, and that's the point. My mind and my hand was writing, and it was making sense, saying things that I wanted it to say, and it did it for a whole entire page, which was all the time I had to write a letter for anyway, before I had to say bye. But it was just so amazing, because I know I had not been able to do that much writing and thinking at one time in, I would say, the past maybe 5 years. So that's a milestone. Like I said, it's been a lot of things that I was not doing right, like I would like to. A lot of deterioration had gone on in my health, but it's on the comeback, and I can give thanks to Dr. Green for that. And of course, we all thank the Almighty, don't we? Okay.